All right, so this is going to be a review of The Watchers, directed by Shauna Shyamalan, one of the daughters of M. Night Shyamalan. Like I said with my review of Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's really been on his like kind of like nepotism run or whatever this year. He's really trying to get his daughters out there. He has this movie where one of his daughters directed it and he produced it, things like that. And then he had Trap, which had his other daughter, just very prominent in the movie, especially her music, even though she was not good in the movie. And it was very obvious she was in that role because that was his daughter. So then we have this movie that came out like a while ago, and I heard not good things about this movie. And I agree with those people. This is not a good movie. So Mina, our main character here, played by Dakota Fanning, she works at like a pet store or something like that, and she has to drop off this bird at some place. I can't remember. They live in Ireland, but she has to go to this other place to drop off this bird for somebody or something. Um, Her car ends up having troubles or whatever when she's in this forest that other people have gone missing in and things like that. So she gets lost in the forest with the bird and everything, and she ends up meeting these other characters. The leader of them is Madeline, played by Olwen Fiore. I probably messed up that name, but there are two others too, and they live in this bunker in the forest, and there are rules and things like that, and they can go out and do whatever they need to do during the day, but at night they have to stay in that bunker. And there's this giant mirror, and the creatures that are like clearly going after people in the forest. Um, at night they come up and they watch they watch the group inside the bunker pretty much all night, and then during the day they go back to wherever they're at. They can't even be out during the day. They can see them through that giant mirror, but they can't see the watchers. Like they have no idea what they look like, and or even what's going on. They know about certain things, but don't know the whole story of what's going on. So Mina, who already is not very good at following rules based on her backstory, obviously breaks the rules and is trying to figure out what's going on here. So positives, I think all the performances are good. Dakota Fanning is good. The actress who plays Madeline, gonna mess up that name again, Olwen Fiore. I thought she was good. This character Kiara, uh, played by Georgina Campbell, I thought she was good. And then there's this other character Daniel, uh, played by Oliver Finnegan. And he's a weird Shyamalan character, right? It's a Shyamalan movie. Whether it be directed by his daughter or him, his fingerprints are definitely on this. There's going to be weird dialogue, just off-putting dialogue, or weird characters, and this is one of them. I don't know. I guess maybe he has some kind of mental issue or something. I guess, but either way, the actor I think was really good. It's well shot, nicely put together. I do like the way that they use the darkness to really build the tension in the nighttime scenes. There's some really good tension, good suspense, right? It has a interesting premise that just naturally makes you go, okay, what's really going on here, right? It's just strange and out there that the creatures wouldn't just be killing people in the woods. That they would be like, oh no, but if you go in this bunker and we can watch you all night, stand there and watch you all night, you good. Like that's crazy. But it's interesting, right? And as Mina's learning more and more stuff, she goes in this burrow and finds out certain things. You are interested to see what's going on. You're right there with her, trying to figure out like what is the backstory of this, because this is crazy. He's good at. I say him because his fingerprints are all over this. He's good at like having you interested to see what's going on and things like that. But because the movie is so much setup, if the reveal falls flat, it's like, well, the entire movie is now fallen flat, and that is the case here. I'm gonna get into spoilers in a little bit, but about halfway through the movie, when you're really starting to understand what's going on here, when reveals are really starting to happen, this movie gets straight up dumb. I mean, just dumb. Like what the reveal is just kind of dumb as to what the creatures actually are and the backstory and all that. But the details of it as it's being revealed, it's just like, wait a minute. It's like it doesn't make sense. It's like there are so many holes the minute you start thinking about it that you take one step, you fall in, right? So it's just thinking about it at all. It's wait, how did he do this thing? How did this thing happen? How are there no more of these things? It's just, I'll get to it in spoilers, but like it falls apart about halfway through, and then it just keeps kind of going downhill up until the end. It just really doesn't work. Spoilers. Let's get into it. So one night, Daniel decides he wants to shut Madeline, or tie up Madeline so that she'll stay out at night, so she'll die because he's tired of her. She's a know-it-all and things like that. He doesn't like having to follow her rules. So he ties her up, whatever. He's gonna leave her out there. Mina won't let that happen. So Mina ends up getting stuck out there too at night, and they're banging on the door. They're trying to get in. Um, they're able to hide, and then Daniel actually does let them in. But because of that, the Watchers, these creatures out there, they get mad and they start breaking the place up. So then they find like this secret, like this secret door on the floor, this little latch or whatever it is, which they've been there for months. I don't know how they didn't find it. And with the with the further reveal that happens, it's like, okay, one of these people definitely knew that that was down there. So they go down there. They've already talked about that there was a professor or something before, and they find all these books and things like that, a computer. And the professor was down there. He leaves, these videos, and so they end up watching like his research videos that he made, and so the Watchers are actually ancient fairies that were cool with people at one point, to the point where people even mated with some of them. But then eventually, I can't remember why, but the humans were like, y'all gotta go. We're done with y'all. And so they ended up getting sealed in the earth, right? The reason why they watch people is because those fairies can actually shapeshift, right? So they can shapeshift into people. So I guess they watch people so that they can better uh, copy them whenever they change into them. So that's why they've been hearing voices and things like that. Voices of the John character, who's Kiera's husband, who went out to figure out what's going on and find a way out, and he never came back. So that's how they're able to like copy their voices and things like that. The professor actually captured one. How he captured it, I have no idea. Captured one, and I guess was studying it. But he eventually decided, oh, I'm going to kill it and kill myself. And he's like, oh, but there's a boat next to one of the signs, because there's signs up that are like point of no return and things like that, that I guess he must have put up. And next to one of the signs, like you could find this water and there's a boat. So they're not like magically stuck in the forest or something like that. It's like, no, this is a forest. They're just stuck in a forest, and these creatures just happen to be in it. Really lame reveal even from then. I was like, this is kind of lame, but it's not done with reveals yet. They get to the water, they get out of there. The idea is that the professor wanted somebody to go to his find his research at the university that he worked at years ago. So Mina ends up doing that after they get out. Daniel dies, but the other three get out. She finds the research and some pictures and stuff like that. And so there's another reveal. Madeline, who I guess as part of the setup for this, she said she did see one of the Watchers, things like that. And you think to yourself, how are you able to see one? But I guess that's the explanation there. Madeline is actually not only a Watcher, but she was the Watcher that was that the professor had brought in and was studying or whatever he was doing. Basically, Mina found pictures of his wife, and his wife was at Madeline is actually shapeshifting into his wife. That's what his wife actually looked like from those pictures. So you think, okay, how's she able to walk during the day and things like that, right? So the explanation for her being able to walk during the daytime and stuff like that, even though she's a Watcher, is because she's half human, half fairy. So like they said, they did explain that people were mating with these things. So I guess they have their biology is compatible with ours, I guess. And Madeline is one of those like halflings. But the question would be, they call her Daywalker, like she's Blade. The natural question would be, why are there no more of her? Why are there no more halflings? From what they talk, like there were plenty of people that were, having babies, like half babies, half and half babies. So where are the rest of them? Why is she the only one that can walk around during the day? I was like, okay. And then it all ends with a fucking speech. She gives her a speech like, oh, no, you're human on the inside. I know you are. Right? It went from, oh, we need to send her back somehow or get rid of her to, oh, I'm just giving her a speech so that she realizes her humanity and, and flies away. She grows wings because obviously the fairies had wings at one point, but they lost those wings after they got sealed in the ground or whatever. When it was the reality shows on the TV, I was like, oh, okay, are the Watchers like doing some kind of, is it some kind of weird experiment like an old where like somehow watching them watch reality shows and things like that, you're studying the human condition or something like that? No, it was fairies watching them so they can shapeshift into them, even though they can't leave the forest and they can't be outside during the day. So it's like, why are they watching them at all? Just destroy the place and kill them. But the professor was like, oh, I created the bunker by hiring 13 people a day, and they would work during the day, and then at night they would take their dinner, eat their dinner outside, I guess, or sleep outside or whatever, and then he would wait for the screaming to stop. So basically, he just sacrificed those people, which is like, oh wow, that's really shitty. But either way, it's like they must have really been working, right? Because on the first day that you did that, they would have to make a significant amount of that bunker in order for you to be able to survive at night, because you would have had to be inside of it. So it's just, it doesn't work. The reveal in this movie just completely destroys the goodwill it set up for itself um, early on, or at least for the first half. So, I will give it a little bit because I thought the setup was good. So I'll give it a rental. But this is not a good movie, man. I mean, it just completely falls apart when we get into what this really is. I mean, it really does. But anyway, yeah, that's The Watchers, rental, subscribe, and we're done.